And we are back. This is episode 4 of Mutant in the Mouth. 4 for Quattro, but it's Quadro. We are
Quadro.
here and crazy week, Nick. Crazy week. What has been going on, buddy?
Nothing, just enjoying the prep life. 6 weeks out from the Arnold.
I
Enjoying a
never
lot of good eating now since my body's in a good spot.
I started this podcast because I was like, the Olympia's over. And me and you were like, we're going to start the podcast. The Olympia's done. I was like, perfect timing. Everything's in line. He's going to take off for a year. We'll have all this time to do a podcast. And then 2 weeks in, you're like, yeah, I'm doing the Arnold.
Doing
Like,
it.
Jesus Christ.
Well,
Um,
300K persuades some people.
apparently some people to what I was watching, 300 isn't a reason to compete, apparently. But I mean, to each his
I
own,
think
right?
it's a great reason to compete.
It's the reason why we compete, to make money, right? I mean, I understand what there was things. Trigilli made a video about what Hani said about Derek not competing for money, but as a bodybuilder,
This is our
you
career,
you
man.
win. You want to compete to win, to make money. I mean, he might not want to do a specific show for a monetary value reason, but that show for Derek for $300,000, I mean, you would be insane to not do it unless there are, now listen, there are things that people want to focus on. Derek might be in a position where he wants to focus on his marriage, because I know he's recently married, or maybe he just like put on the weight he
Yeah,
put on.
but
And
she told him to do it.
I know. So
He was supportive of it.
yeah. But what I'm saying is you don't know what's going on in the background with Derek, is my point. But to say, if Derek doesn't want to do it, that's okay. Like, that's completely fine.
Yeah, I mean, I don't care.
But what I'm saying is that to say he doesn't want to do it because money's not a reason is insane.
Yeah, I know. I agree.
Because we can't do what we do if we're not making money and cashing checks and paying our
Well,
bills. Like, that's just
this is why
right.
we're professionals.
Yeah. Like pro ball players, it's not like
If they,
they
do you really think they play baseball or football if they weren't making money? Let's be honest here.
yeah. I mean, especially now. I think back in the day, more people played for the love of the game, and I think that's true. Because I think back then, when you're wearing like leather helmets playing football and getting paid like $5 a pop,
Yeah,
you got
you got to love it at that point,
right. You have to love it a little more, you would assume. Jesus. I already know your answer, but I want your insight.
Okay.
Being because you're on our podcast, you are the one that still competes, and you're the one that has to, in your mind, think about these things and figure them out, or whether it bothers you or not, or your insight on it. What I want to know, I know where you're going to place yourself, but what is your insight? Not where you think you're going to place. I know you're going to say, I'm going to win. What is your feelings, and why do you think Ramy's doing it? If it's a good thing, a bad thing, do you think he can make improvements? Because I have my own insights and my own opinions, but you're the one competing, so I really want you to go like a little deeper than you normally would on this, and give me like how you feel about his physique overall, and like if you think it's possible to get back to where he actually was.
So I when I did the Olympia TV with Flex Wheeler and Sean Ray, Tarek, and Bob Scarillo, what Flex said made sense. He says it's not how old you are; it's about the mileage you put on your body. And I think Ramy has done enough mileage on his body that I just don't think it's going to get any better, in my opinion. Now, I could be wrong. He might show up at this Arnold completely different and go, "Oh, Ramy's back," right? But I personally don't see it. I think he has a lot more issues than we all know that I think need to be addressed. And I don't think, how whenever he started prep for the Arnold is enough time to come back from that.
When you say issues, are you talking about issues other than what we physically see on his body, or are you saying other issues behind the scenes that we might not know about?
I'm just talking about his body.
Okay. Now, I've had talks with Cutler about this. Do you think his muscles. Now, whether you think he's able to be his best, the muscles, the triceps, the back, the areas that people spoke about that seem to be atrophied and gone. Now, there was arguments of it was flat or it was missing or it was atrophied, it's not coming back. Obviously, the quads are just what they are. Like
That's what it
that's
is.
just
Yeah.
gone, right? But do you think there are the areas that he had that looked um disintegrated? Do you think that was a flat issue, or do you think that's an muscularity issue and that's something that could be brought back to his physique?
I think he was a little flat, but I also don't think being full would have helped him drastically, in my opinion.
So you're saying you think it's atrophied muscle then?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't fullness flat. It's not going to bring it back.
Now, what would you say then about and I'm just asking because they were both compared. What would you then say about Ian's back? Because because I remember I was it Trigili that tried to compare both backs.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I've seen Ian's back, and obviously we both know that Ian's back is very far from atrophied.
Mhm.
And so is it possible to say that on one physique that could be a flat issue and on another physique that could be more of an atrophy issue, depending upon who you are?
So, I mean,
Yeah.
look, I've seen Ian's back, so when it's full, when it's flat. I think with Ramy's back, even last year when he won, you could start to see things were happening. And I would say he was on last year, maybe not as on as the year before, but it was enough for him to get the win. But even then, you could see that the back wasn't the same anymore. So, in my opinion, with Ramy specifically, no, I don't think was a fullness issue. I think his muscles are just atrophying.
Yeah. And that's kind of what happened to me and why I kind of had to look at myself in the mirror and go, bro, you got to fucking just pull back because it's like after a while, it gets to a point. Now, listen, what I would love nothing more as a bodybuilder, and I keep staring at this, so my fingers are fucking, they get all cut and scraped during the winter. And rock tape is the only tape that like holds the fucking band-aids on. And this is the cheapest one because it looks like a tattoo. So if you guys are wondering, yeah, I got a little boo-boo.
Little boo-boo. What'd you do to it?
It's just from it's being all cold outside. You know how it gets here in the winter?
Yeah, I remember.
So my fucking fingers like crack. Like I don't know if you can see the cracks.
Oh, you get okay.
Yeah, and they fucking split open, and I'll get them on the tops of my knuckles,
and they bleed.
And it feels like your finger's gonna fall off. Legit, It hurts that bad. But I was talking to Jay about this, and Jay thinks that he can come back and fucking potentially like he thinks he can fix those areas. Because when we were on the phone, I said it to him today. I go, so you think those areas are not atrophied? And he goes, I'm not saying they're not, but he was like, I think he could come back and fucking win because he's so massive. I don't know. For me, it got to a point where nothing I did was making those muscles come back.
Right.
And that's where I had to stay. You know what? My career is done. No matter what I was taking, how I was training, much I was eating, it just nothing was fucking bringing my shoulders back, my upper chest back, my filling my back out because of injuries. And you know, if we go back to previous Olympias of Ramy's pictures, you can kind of see in the back and the legs where it's actually started to atrophy.
Yeah.
And where it is now. I mean, have you seen it?
Yeah. I remember when he first got on the scene, like if you remember, the year he won the New York Pro, you remember that?
Yep.
He was amazing looking. I mean, he had the big quads that had detail.
Much smaller.
He had a big back that was detailed. He had the little waist at the time.
Yep.
Like he was amazing. And I just think time caught up.
Do you think it was time, or do you think he tried to overdo it? Because he's what? He's 30. No. I'm saying, did you think he tried to? Because listen, we all say, listen, could be I'm not comparing myself to Ramy or you or any Mr. Olympias. I'm all fucking tangled over here. But it's the only good comparison I could use because, like, let's say for me, right? Um, I couldn't bring those things back. Mine were injury related.
Yeah.
So, do you think that even with his size, that because he was huge back then when he won his first New York Pro, he put on a lot of muscle. Do you think he put on too much muscle and tried to push the limits too much? And maybe if he stayed at the size that he was, he would have been okay.
Yeah, I do. I think
So you think you think he would have been able to turn Mr. Olympia if he wasn't, if he didn't skyrocket up to the 300s?
I do. I mean, I don't know what his weight was back in that time frame, but he definitely pushed the envelope quickly.
Yeah.
And I think if he, with the size that he had and the shape that he had, the condition that he had, if he just progressed slowly at a very slow rate, he'd probably look incredible right now, honestly.
He's how old? Almost 40?
I think I want to say 37, 38, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah, right at 38 for me is where the fucking left turn where the body went. This where you're going this way. But what your first show you weighed what?
What the hell was that, man?
It's that fucking iWatch. That's fucking it's that iWatch.
My first show, I was 159 pounds.
And you weighed at this Olympia?
255.
Now, your first show, you were how old?
17.
So 11 years later, it's 100 pounds, 10 pounds a year.
Yeah.
So if you actually think about it, it's not super crazy.
No, but I just think
it's insane.
But here's the thing. I think Ramy pushed the envelope and continued to push the envelope. Where I think when I was younger, I pushed it to a certain degree and realized I was sacrificing a lot of shape, which was fucking me up, and I pulled it back. And I was able, and now I think I'm at a point in my career now where I'm getting the shape back now. And I have this, I'm not going to lose the size, right? So if I can take that, refine it, and slow things down and bring the shape back, I'm going to be unbeatable soon. But I think he got in the mindset of more. Yeah, don't interrupt me, guy. I saw you.
Did you see me catch myself though?
I did. You were like,
I caught myself. I pulled back. I was like, e-brake.
Yep. But I think he just, and it might not even been him. It could have been, whoever he was with at the time, just wanted more.
Yeah.
And that was it. And I think now, in my opinion, he's paying the price for it.
Yeah. Sometimes I got to word these the right way, or I don't want to upset anybody.
Sorry, man.
Do you think it was more like some people atrophy for one or two reasons? It's either over injecting into an area or the muscle just tears, and you get those tears or complete tears, or and then you get those little micro tears, and after a while just things just start to atrophy. For me, mine was more so injury related because my shoulders just were shot. So when my shoulders were shot, I couldn't push certain ways, I couldn't engage certain muscles. So mine was more so injury related over anything. Do you think in those areas are more because of injections or more because of injuries and tears? Or combo?
I'm going to go combo
because of the quads.
But I also think more so from injections.
Yeah.
That's just my opinion.
I injected once into my quad early in my career, and it hurt so fucking bad that I never did it again. I had a knot in my fucking, I went, I think a
Yeah,
half
bro.
or 1 cc in both my quads. I had a knot in both of my legs for like 2 fucking weeks.
Yep.
And felt like it was like a twig from a tree, like a
Yep.
tree branch that ran up my leg. It hurt like a motherfucker. I never did it again.
Never.
So
Never.
I can't fathom putting anything in my legs. I mean, I don't know where your preferred area of um darting is,
Dirty.
but the darting, but I like to go, if I went in my glutes, my shoulders, and if I could, my lats as much as possible, because it was just an
I
area that never bothered me and never fucking balled up on me. It never
yeah,
got infected. It never got red. It never hurt. So if I had somebody around, it was going in my lats.
of course. That's what I do. I do shoulders and lats. I don't do glutes just because I don't want to risk getting a lump and then having that being seen on stage. So I usually just stick to the shoulders and lats for me.
Okay. Hey, I'm upset with you because apparently you fucking we're supposed to be like kind of best friends, and then you don't even tell me like when something like serious happens.
Well,
Well, why don't you tell the fucking everybody?
I'm not talking about that.
We'll
I
just
know
talk
where
about
you're
it.
going.
What?
I don't know where you're going. Where are you going?
You go have surgery and get varicose veins removed, and you don't even fucking tell you.
Oh, yeah, you didn't know, bro?
Bro, are people insane?
I got my varicose veins removed.
I didn't even see. I saw it. Somebody tagged me in the
Out
comment.
from the Arnold, bro. You
Somebody
didn't know?
tagged me and they're like, "Did you believe this?" And I'm like looking at it and I'm like, like I go, "Is this what people do for fucking fun?" Like you
Guys,
can't be that dumb. You just
guys,
can't.
I had about 6 people DM me, send me voice notes saying congratulations on the surgery on your leg and getting your veins removed.
Would your shin bone even be black and blue? Wouldn't it be the back of your calf? Even if you got it
No,
done?
I mean,
Your shin was black and blue from deadlifting.
yeah, but the main vein that was like disgusting looking was right in that spot. So,
Oh,
yeah,
that's fucking hilarious.
but I
Be,
was,
be, be like, no, I fucking put a straw in it and sucked it out.
yeah,
They're
I
so
drained
stupid.
that bitch.
I saw that and I was like, holy shit.
I know.
So, um, did you have your second, as we talked yesterday, did you have your second burger? Is that coming tonight?
I had it yesterday. Yeah, I mean that's today. Today was just a high day, no cheat meal. But the past 2 days, it's been high days and burgers and fries and dessert.
High day for you. Shout it out.
We did pretty much 500 grams of rice per meal.
Which is how many carbs for people that don't know?
I'm not even sure.
How much is 500 grams of
It's
rice?
over 100. So I think like 360 grams is 100 grams of carbs.
Wow, okay.
So
How many meals?
6.
Do you have more? So one thing that Jay taught me, Anacito, is that your biggest meals are always breakfast, pre and post. Do you do anything with the meals like that? Like that's my biggest meals were always my breakfast, pre and
Yeah.
post, always. So
I mean,
what?
listen, so like I train after meal 2, obviously. So meal 1 is always big, pre is big, post is big, but they're all on a high day. They're all still relatively the same.
Yeah.
A
Now,
little
what
less, but not like much less.
you take? I know Revive has a lot of stuff. I don't know. Is there anything you take? Because you're eating all that food, you got to take something for digestion. Like, do you have like I take Now Foods make a super enzyme. I take activated black charcoal. I take acidophilus. So is there like anything you take, like you got to take something for digestion, I would assume, right? To
Yeah, I
break
mean,
all that.
listen, HD has glyco HD,
Okay.
so I take that for obviously glucose disposable agent,
Right.
and I still use some of Revive stuff. They have like a digest aid that I still use, and HD's coming out with things like that soon. So
Yeah. Yeah, I know a lot of people
and
I don't.
luckily for me, I don't have many digestion problems anymore. So
No, it's funny. Neither do I. And I'm very consistent with three things, and that's fiber, greens, and there's this product called Trojan Horse, which is a it's stim fat burner from Blackstone Labs, but it has digestion aids in it. So I add it every night to my drink. I call it the poop shake, but those I combine those three things.
That's what I
call it my poop shake, bro, because I take it, and when I travel, no matter what, if I have to bring anything with me, I never leave home without those three things. Because if I miss a day of that, my digestion is not what it should be.
Really?
Like I'm a dog.
Same,
I'm a dog.
Eating fiber out. Do you eat a lot of greens?
I eat more greens than probably most bodybuilders, but not as much as I should. Like when I was at the store tonight, like I bought sugar snap peas, snow peas, mushrooms, onions. I have tomatoes. So I do like a variety of vegetables, not so much greens. So I think I get my phytonutrients enough. But I still add a greens drink in every night before I go to bed.
See, I noticed since I take a lot of greens, that's a lot of fiber in itself. So if I would do a lot of greens with a fiber, it would fuck me up my stomach a little bit. So I would take the fiber out and I'd be fine.
Yeah. It's not everybody's the same, you know.
No, yeah.
You might. I mean, I'm also 40 years old. My fucking my insides are a little fucking slushier than yours, bro. At this age.
A little bit.
Speaking of age, so Wednesday night. So, well, let's back it up. Okay, let's back it up, as my buddy Joe would say. Back it up.
Back it up.
Right, Joe? He's playing fucking chess. He's sitting here. He likes to come over and listen to this because he likes to know like ahead of time because he feels like he's in the know. But he's sitting here getting his ass beat against the computer playing fucking chess.com. Right?
I suck at chess. I'm a checkers guy.
Is there a checkers app?
Yeah, there is a checkers app.
All right. Tell me what it is. I'm going to whoop your ass.
Oh, come on.
Is that Thor?
No, that's her dog.
Oh. Got excited. I haven't seen the little guy.
He'll be here after the Arnold.
I want to see Maria's dog. Bring this dog over here. What kind of dog is it? Nick doesn't look too happy.
Come here.
The lap dog?
No. Come here.
Say hi.
Right, where's this dog? Oh my God.
Yeah.
Is it a girl or a girl, right?
That's a girl, yeah.
What's her name?
Tora.
Oh my gosh. Has Tora ever met Thor?
Yes.
Do they get along?
Yeah. Thor licked her asshole dry.
Yeah, it was bad.
Like her asshole was bee red, bro.
Like father, like son.
No.
So that's fucking awesome, dude. Let me tell you something. Having two dogs is if you have one dog, I'm gonna tell you because I've done both.
Yeah.
Having one dog compared to having two dogs is much easier than having one dog, because when you have two dogs, the amount those dogs take care of each other and like take the attention away and like like I would never ever not have two dogs as long as I live, because it's so much easier, and like you don't have to worry about the dog being home alone, and where like, and my dogs are always together. Like they're fucking up Joe's ass right now on the couch. They're both laying on top of him. But having two dogs is awesome. But so that's awesome. Is Thor coming soon?
Yeah, he's gonna come out after the Arnold.
Okay.
He's with Maria's mom right now.
In Canada?
No, her mom lives in Florida.
Oh, that's right. Oh, does she love him? She's not going to want to give him back to you guys. Watch. She's going to fall in love with Thor. She's going to be like, you ain't getting him back. That's what I would do.
She doesn't, man. They love each other.
So cute.
Yeah.
Dogs, fucking pit bulls are best.
They are.
So we just did like a commercial where you can put that music in the background where they like about adopting animals instead of it as ASPCA, right? Like the commercial. We were just advocating for adopting. So back to me being old.
Old man guy.
On Thursday of last week, okay. Wednesday was it Wednesday? No.
You said
I'm
Wednesday.
saying no. When I got zapped. No. I know when I got zapped. Yeah. So the week prior on Thursday, I went to my buddy's gun store. This guy Jason Wilcock, who's a fan, sent me. He bought me an AR, and he got it Cerakoted, which is when they paint the gun, and he got the gun painted red, white, and blue. And he sent the gun to my buddy's shop, Derek, over at SC Arms in Spotswood, New Jersey. So when we got there, we're hanging out. My buddy Tony's there, who you know, my videographer.
Yeah.
We're filming, hanging out, and Derek got all these tasers in. And he's like, "Look, come on, let me tase you. And I'm like, "You absolutely fucking not." So he breaks out a taser and he goes, "Let me fucking tase you, pussy." And I go, "I'll let you tase me. But if you tase me, I'm taking the taser home. That's the trade-off. Like I'm I'm keeping the fucking taser. If I let you tase me, the trade-off is I keep it. I don't like I want one, so I'm not buying it. I'm taking it." So he goes, "Fine." So he tases me in the leg. I'm gonna show you what the taser looks like. Okay. Has an on switch right here.
Oh,
Okay, and it's got a button. I'm gonna cover the mic so I don't blow the mic out, but here. My dog's out. Okay.
oh.
Tag, you can come back.
Scared your dog away?
He ran right out of the fucking room. He's such a pussy.
Uh-huh.
So he tased me in the leg. Okay. Got it on camera. Yeah, fucking YouTube. Let's get views and likes. Yeah. Well, okay. So that was on Thursday. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Wednesday's a following leg day. Now, this thing fucking zapped me so hard that I got 2 fucking burn marks in my leg from the prongs. Okay. Now, I asked my buddy who's a cop what voltage theirs are. He said 500,000, but he goes, theirs obviously stick into you because they have prongs. This doesn't stick into you, but the voltage on the box says 950,000. So my buddy said the cop ones are 500, but they prong into you. This one's 950, but it doesn't prong onto you. So it fucking stung bad. So me and my buddy go to train legs on Wednesday, and we're in the gym. And I usually start with abductors, adductors, and then hamstrings, and then quads.
Yeah.
For some fucking reason, I was like, was there somebody on the abductors machine? Right? There was we only had one abductor machine at the time. Now we actually have 2. Because the owner bought that. He bought a hip press machine. So we got new pieces. Shout out to Rob Zampetti at Golders in Bridgewater. So we go to leg extensions, do like 4 warm-up sets, but no, probably even more, 5, 6 warm-up sets. And then we do 3 working sets of 12 reps, holding it for 3 seconds at the top of the movement. And what I originally wanted to do, because I said we're going to do leg extensions first, we're going to come back and do abductors, adductors, hamstrings, and then we'll go back to quads.
Yeah.
We never did that. For some reason, we did leg extensions, and we went, I don't know if I was just in the fucking zone, but I totally forgot. And we went right over to this. It's almost like a power squat machine. Is it made by Paramount? It's made by Paramount. Body Masters makes it. It's a body. Yeah, it's a Body Master squat machine. Now, I've used it a million fucking times. So I'm going to pull up. This is my first time sharing my screen. So hold on.
You better do it properly.
Here we go.
Oh, shit.
Did you see my screen?
I see it. I see the video.
Okay, hold on. Now,
I like your Crocs, too.
You like that shit? So,
with your high side.
Okay, now. Can you see my mouse or no?
Yeah, I see it.
Okay, now it's this quad. It's my right quad. It's on I think it's on the 5th rep. Somebody said 6, but I think it's on the 5th. So you'll see, watch my face, and this knee buckles completely in, and you see me, my mouth just, I open and scream. Hold on. Right here. So right, if you're watching right down and then right. See it? My hip.
Yeah,
It goes right there.
that's
My whole
scary. That's scary, bro.
snapped, right? It just snapped, dude.
Now
Right
you
on me.
think that's because you got tased there?
Now, so I went here, watch a room right here. Watch. Ah,
Yeah, that's fucked up, bro.
okay. Yeah, I can't
That
watch.
is nasty shit.
Yeah. Luckily, I have fucking great doctors and doctors that have become friends of mine. That I was able to call my doctor. Shout out to Dr. Dumas at New Jersey Orthopedics. He got me in for he's a guy that did my shoulder surgeries, both of them, and got me in to see an orthopedist the next day. And I went to see the orthopedist, and he goes,
Did you train the next day too?
excuse me?
Did you train the next day too?
Next day was Thursday, so I had off. Friday I trained arms, yeah. And Saturday back in chest, and then Sunday off, and tomorrow back. So he goes, did you do anything to this area prior to training legs that day? He goes, because where you tore it. So I tore my vastus lateralis. So for people that don't know, Carmine, I'm going to make sure I do this the right way because I'm going to share my screen. So can you come over here and watch me, please? Since we're in the beginning phases of this podcast and I just shut the podcast down for the first time.
You don't need to hear stop recording again.
Right here, right? Share screen. Double click that. Okay. And now
here I am.
Right here, right? Do I got to click this?
Yeah.
I wanted to Google something.
Google. Go to Google then.
Okay. So
here we go.
Right here. So.
Oh, it's on the outside.
Yeah.
And that's obviously where you were tased, correct?
So I got tased right here, vastus lateralis. So mine tore literally right up here.
And that affected you a week later?
Yep. Because now what happens is, see how this is on the outside, how there's that sweep?
Yeah, the outer sweep.
Now mine just kind of caves in. Like there's not
like no sweep.
Listen, easy. I mean, my legs are fucking huge. So I still have somewhat of a fucking sweep, but no, I have a much bigger. I mean, I can show you what it looks like now, but yeah. So that's what happened. It snapped.
I want to see. Show me.
All right, hold on. So
just stand up.
Just stand up. It's not that easy. Hold on. I can't hear you now.
Does it hurt?
I can't hear. What?
Does it hurt?
No, my whole fucking leg's numb because the swelling is the leg gets swollen, all that water and all that fluid sits on the nerve, and then half my quad around to my hamstring, my ass is completely numb. Like you could stab me, I can't feel shit.
Oh.
Now, I don't know. I didn't flex it yet, but how's the lighting?
Flex it. Oh, I see it. Oh, it goes in. You got no sweep, bro.
See it?
Yep. That's fucked up. It's not really bruised.
It's not, but see, I tore it here the last time.
Yeah.
And then
it still actually looks pretty good until you go to the side.
I'm trying to get it like I can't.
No, I trust me, you can tell. You still got some big ass legs, guy.
Huh?
You still got some big ass legs.
Yeah, apparently God doesn't want me to have big legs because they keep tearing. Fucking tearing. Fucking blows now. But this is going to parlay me into a very good topic, actually, that I've been thinking about because I've had this.
Hold on. I'm going to tell you like this, though. I'm going to compliment you a little bit.
Oh, boy.
When you flex the leg without like going all the way flexed, you really can't tell.
No, but when I step
when you
down,
actually fully stretch it, go
it
down,
sucks in.
Then you see it.
Yep. You know, and I'll say this. It fucking blows. And I'm gonna tell you why this blows. I was on the phone. I was on my phone on the way home from the gym that night. And I was on the phone with my buddy Bobby, and Fuad beeped in. And he goes, he asked me a question. I guess he could hear my voice. I was just frustrated or just pissed off. And he goes, "Are you all right?" And I go, "No." And I started getting like very emotional. And he's like, "What's wrong?" And I'm like, I don't even care that I tore my quad. It's not about that. The upsetting part is that since I've been fucking, I don't know, 16 years old, I've been training the same fucking way with the same mentality, with the same intensity. And my goal has never been in the gym to be the best bodybuilder. My goal in the gym, every time I step foot in the gym, is to fucking just train my balls off as heavy as I can with as many reps as like that's just how I've always been. And I said that I can't be the guy Cisternino that I want to be in the gym anymore. I said I just can't do it because if I keep fucking doing what I'm doing, I'm going to end up fucking in a wheelchair.
You're going to keep
like I've never torn a muscle in my entire career, ever. Never. Got through my entire career, knock on fucking wood, without tearing a fucking thing. Somehow I retire, and in a year I tore my quad fucking twice.
Nope.
Like I went back to the doctor and got cortisone injections 2 weeks ago because my shoulders have been fucked. And my doctor pretty much said, he took new x-rays. And he goes, "The next time I cut you open," he goes, "you're getting fucking at least partial replacements." So it's like I go, "Well, is that a definite?" He goes, "It's not a definite that you're going to need surgery." He goes, "It's a definite that the next time I cut you open, if there's a next time, you can't be fixed. This isn't like a fixable thing. Like you're bone on fucking I got bones. My top of my humerus where the ball is, my ball and socket. Look, I got fucking calcifications and like bone spurs hanging on. It's insane. They don't even look like shoulders anymore. And it's a realization where like I have to figure out a way to train different. And some people think it's fucking easy. Like, oh, just go do less, lighten the weight. And they don't understand that there's like there's a release that I get when I train the way that I train. I don't get that emotional release training with 20-pound dumbbells for 50 reps. It's not the fucking same to me. So now
I wouldn't say do that. I would say I would honestly say lighten the weight. Just try not go to failure anymore.
Yeah. And that's what happened. Like, and that was our failure set, right?
Like when you Smith squat, how much can you Smith squat?
Since I've been retired, I've done 10. I've done 5 plates for 10, 12.
Hard.
I mean, if I could do 405 much easier.
I would honestly say at this point, I would go to 405, slow it down a little bit, and just do like sets of 8 to 10.
Yeah.
But maybe slow speed up the rest period a little bit to make it more challenging.
I mean, Joe, how
I know how you train.
If I trained any faster, I might as well just go run a marathon. So it's like, do I train slower? So this is where I kind of have to figure it out myself.
You train fast.
Well, ready for this? Before we did this, we actually did 2 working sets, nice and slow and controlled, 10 reps. And then the last set we put weight on and I said, okay, I go now just fucking, I said, go to town and bang these reps out. I go, just go for, I said, go for reps on this one. So he got 20 reps and I was getting ready and he was like, how many are you going for? And I go, I'm gonna get 30 or 40. He goes, okay. So yeah, that was literally, and I got 5. Okay, so, but the thing is, that shit's fun for me. Like doing that in the gym is fun, and I can't do that now, and it's upsetting because it's like, how can I now? I have to figure out a way to make my body look a certain way and get that same rush and emotional feeling that I get going to the gym every day. I have to figure out how to get that in a different way, and it's not easy for me. And I was really bent out of shape on Wednesday because I was just like, I can't believe this is fucking happening again.
I understand. Sure.
And then I started thinking like, and then the doctor told me, by the way, back to the vastus lateralis, that you don't tear that there unless there's trauma to that area. He goes, because you would have torn your entire tendon. He goes, so you to tear the belly of that muscle as high up as you did. And I literally have the 2-prong fucking marks from the taser in the exact spot where I tore the fucking. So although I'm giving it an excuse saying it's the taser, maybe the taser maybe I had to get tased to tear my quad to realize that I need to fucking back it down. Because my buddy Derek the owner felt so bad, but I was like, listen, bro, I go, if I was 20 years old, I wouldn't have torn my quad. Like, it's because I'm older. Yeah. And it kind of makes me think, like, do more people tear things when they're on less or retired, or do we hear more people tearing things when they're current bodybuilders? I mean, the most thing that I've heard people tear that compete or not even really pecs that much, or more so biceps than anything. Pecs here and there. We don't really hear quad tears anymore. Evan Centopani tore his quads. I don't really know a ton of people that tore their quads. I know Branch tore his, but what's your view on like the torn muscle? Is it the training? Is it maybe the fact that we hear the gear is, the gear makes us grow our muscles and strengthen our muscles, but not our tendons? Like, you've never torn anything.
Knock on wood. I've torn my hamstring.
Yeah. Was that a micro tear though?
Micro, it bruised really bad, but
yeah,
you can't really tell. My hamstring looks awesome.
You can't tell at all.
Listen, this is my value opinion. I think it's a combo of everything, right? I think training plays a role, and I'll take, even though I think all his injuries were outside the gym, correct?
Yes.
I feel like someone who trains like that is more prone to an injury than someone who would train very slow and controlled. Now, yes, I think, when someone's on, can that play an effective role? Yes, because you're going to notice you're getting stronger and stronger. And then you're like, wow, I can go heavier. But your tendons are not keeping up with your muscle gains. So then that prones for it. That's why even now, when I notice now I'm getting stronger, like, I don't push it. If I do a top set of something I haven't done in a long time, and I know I could go up, I'll wait like another week or so. Like, I'm not doing it right then and there because I'm not here to risk shit right now. That's why, for me, honestly, I don't train the way I used to. I don't train, one failure set of this heavy ass weight. I do more of a Jay Cutler approach now. And I feel like it has helped.
Which is what?
More volume. Like, the way I used to train was more Dorian Yates, right? Like, for example, we'll just do squats. I would do like 135. We'll say warm up, 15 reps. I would put on, a quarter on each side, just keep warming up. Say I'll do like 10 reps, 2 plates. I'll do like maybe 5 reps. And then 3 plates. I'd only do like 2 reps, touch it. And then we'll just, get all the way to 6 reps. And I bang out like 15. I don't go any higher than 315 to 405 because I'll do like 135 for 15, 225 for 15, 315 for 15. And by the time I hit 405, I'm already fried. I bang out 1 hard set there, I move on. but I don't think it has hindered my physique in terms of size. If anything, it's helped because I'm able to just focus on the muscle more so than this weight that's on my back and contract harder. And I'm able to get more out of it than I think what I was used to doing. Now, that's not to say what I used to do was wrong, because I think it helped me put on a lot of size, but like I don't have aches and pains anymore. I don't have elbow pain. I don't have the knee pain that I used to have because I'm focused on the muscle and forcing the muscle to work harder without the joints getting involved. And I think that's why Jay Cutler now feels fine and has no problems. Versus you have someone like Ronnie, who was the GOAT, but he can't even walk. You know what I mean?
Out of all the bodybuilders that I've seen, and I honestly can't think. I mean, Christ, I'm thinking of every bodybuilder off the top of my head. I don't know another bodybuilder that trains as controlled as you with the amount of weight that you can hold.
But I feel like it's safer, right? Because
no. It 100%.
Well, I don't know. I say it because say you're going so slow. If you feel any minute, you can easily just drop that motherfucker. If you're going up and down fast, if you're going down and you feel you're going down. Like that's it, you know? Now, yes, I think because, you know, how my dad trained and how his ligaments are, my brother, like we can handle heavy weight regardless, but it's the way that it's done, you know? And I don't feel the need to go as heavy as like when I dumbbell press, I haven't touched 200s. And like last week, for some reason, my strength's going up. I did, as a third exercise, I did flat dumbbell press at Dragons. I did the 160s for, I think, 15. That's something, I'm like, wow, I haven't done that since I don't even know when.
That's crazy.
But what I'm saying is, I did sets of 15 working up to that.
Yes.
So I think if you're frying the muscle, but I'm able to contract it harder and it's warming up so much as you get to that weight that it's as if I was like doing the 140s or something. You know what I mean? Yep. Like your body's already adapted.
The Dragon's Lair, huh?
Yeah.
That's like the fucking actually fucking Lee. Shout out to Flex fucking Lewis.
Shout out. No, and I like they got 200-pound dumbbells, so it's like, can I do that? Sure, but at this, I feel like at this point in my career, the size I have, without risking too much injury, what's the point?
Yeah.
If I can get the same stimulus, if not more, doing something of a higher rep and being able to contract more versus doing 200-pound dumbbells where I feel it, but not so much. My triceps are more pumped, my front delts. What purpose are you serving by doing that?
Agreed. 100%. You know? Yeah. Did you ever train the ladder way? Like the ladder, meaning like, did you ever train the way like some kids do, or kind of like a branch did, like earlier in your career? Like, listen, everybody didn't
just
train the way they train. Like, you just rip and rip it. Like, did you ever train? Now, what point? At what point did you stop gripping and ripping it? Because you had to learn at some point that I don't want to grip and rip anymore, because you are very, very controlled and you're very neurotic when you train and how you train and how controlled the movement is. So, how did you go from grip and rip to slow and good? Because that's literally what I'm going to have to do. The problem that I find is, like, especially if I go to do like a chest exercise or a shoulder press, my shoulders are bad. So the minute I feel that pain, my brain is like, get 10 reps and be done. So I just like boom, 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 and let it go instead. Because in my head, I would have to like substantially lighten the weight to get that contraction. I'm like, I'm not dropping that light to do that.
No, yeah.
You know,
for me, I think it was when me and Matt got together.
Okay.
He pretty much revamped my training back in 2018. And he's the one where I started doing the low volume approach, but very slow and controlled. And like I said, I think that got me to where the size I needed. But you know, I got so strong. I was overhead pressing 405 for like 8 to 10 reps,
Insanity.
But even though it's slow and controlled, you get to a point where it's like, okay, like what risk am I, like what's the, like, it's how far can I go before, even though I'm doing it the safest way possible, how much more is my body going to take here?
Or your tendon's going to take before it snaps.
So luckily I was able to get away, I believe, with a lot of shit.
Yeah.
But now being, you know, third in the world, working my way up, and this is my opinion, you need to figure out ways to still train heavy and hard.
Yes.
Without going so fucking heavy though.
And that's where John fit into me so good in my life. Like, you know, Charles Glass was one of the pioneers in my career that like showed me a lot. Right. You know, obviously Branch was the guy that like, I just wanted to fucking be when I was younger. So I just had that. I wanted to be that intense motherfucker that like, everybody's like, oh man, I wanted, you know, I wanted intensity and my name to be in the same sentence when anybody talked bodybuilding. Like that's what I wanted. So, you know, Branch was somebody that I really, you know, mirrored an image in my head that I wanted to be. But, and then I started working with Charles earlier on in my career. But as I got older, you know, that's when I brought John in, and not having John around is kind of like, you know, I kind of like run around with a chicken with his head cut off, trying to figure out, like, I have all his, you know, programs saved on my computer, and I look at them, but, you know, he used to, you know, have programs made out just for me around my body and my injuries, and I don't have that anymore. So selfishly, I'm like, you know, mad that I don't have, you know, John around, and not just for the bodybuilding reasons, but just for, you know, because he just still should be here no matter what.
Of course.
But, you know, not having that guide in John, it's kind of like, where do I go from here? Where I could just make a phone call and be like, hey, John, I got to figure something else out, man. Like, this is not working. Like, I'm fucking killing myself. Now I got to figure out myself. And I guess it's good, you know, because I'm going to learn a big fucking lesson, and I'm going to be able to teach a lot of people that are in my position how to do certain things. But one thing that I was saying to my buddy, I was like, it's hard when being retired, I don't eat 100%, meaning like I don't eat all my meals. I eat healthy, but I don't get 5-6 meals. I don't get 6 meals in a day. I don't pay attention to my fluids anymore, or how hydrated I am. I'm sleeping probably less because I'm doing so much business stuff from the time I wake up till the time I go to bed. But I walk into the gym and I want to give 110%. And I'm taking, you know, a TRT dose. And I think taking a TRT dose also, when you go from taking a high amount of gear, even if you're a competitive bodybuilder, and then drop down to a TRT dose, I think then you still have to be careful of training, because you're the loads that we can carry on our muscle and our bodies when we're taking the amount of PEDs that we are, and then we back it down to a TRT dose, and we're still trying to push those limits. I think you got to be careful, because not everybody has fucking tendons that are tied together with fucking carabiners and bungee cords like you and your fucking father. You know, like our tendons are human, you know, so ours can snap.
Yeah.
And I really think that part of the reason why some of the injuries that are occurring in my body are also the fact that, you know, being on a low TRT dose and not being able to recover the way I was taking the super subs, I think that also affects me too.
It does. Oh, for sure.
Like, how do you feel versus being on, whether it's full off season or pre-contest, versus like a stagnant TRT dose? Like, is it much different for you? Like, as far as like strength and like that kind of thing?
Not drastically. I mean, that might just be an age thing for me because I'm still young. But I mean, I can tell the difference for sure. I still train hard, but I might not just do as much volume, you know? Like, instead of, for example, I'll use squats again. You know, if I do 315 for like 3 sets of 12 to 15 reps,
okay,
I might do one.
So when you
Or if I feel good, I might do 2, but I won't push it,
so you consciously make an effort when the dosage is lower to back down the volume.
Yes, because honestly, I probably should in general, just to give the body a break.
Yeah.
But I also relate to, less gear, which means you need more time to recover.
And see, that's so, and in my shoes, right? I'm retired. I take TRT. So there's I have the rest of my life to recover. So now I walk into the gym and I want to train my balls off every day. So it's not only do I have to train less, right? I have to train less, lighter, and fucking less frequently, which is fucking very hard to do. And I was
Here's
going
the thing. I wouldn't say I have to train less per se. I would just control it better.
No, I mean less, I think less volume,
Oh,
less days a week, and lighter weight.
well, here's the thing, right? Mentally, you're like me. You got to be in the gym.
Yeah.
It's what makes you happy. It's what makes you feel good. So I don't think you need to do less days because you enjoy it that much.
How many days you train?
I train 5.
That's what I do. Said
I take off Wednesday or Thursday, give or take, and then always off on Sunday.
I take off Thursday and Sunday. Those are my days.
Yeah. And I think that's fine for you. I just think about what you said though. You tore that quad, putting more weight on and ripping it. Yeah. If you were to just end it with the 2 sets that were more controlled and moved on, you may have not torn your quad.
I don't do that. I mean, Joe, we don't do that every that's not an all the time thing. That was just a, let's do that today thing.
Yeah. Okay.
So I mean, for the most part, I mean, tell me if I'm wrong. Do we really train crazy sporadic and not? I mean, I think we train pretty fucking controlled for the most part. Yeah. But but I would like to train as controlled as you. Problem is when you're in pain, that's very fucking hard to do. And I'm not saying I can't, I don't have really pain in my legs. My knees are not great, but I don't have a lot of pain in them. But if I'm doing a curl or a squat or a ham curl or a lateral raise, lateral raise, I'm being in pain, but there are things that I should be able to do with the control that you do. But it's you go into the gym and, people look at you a certain way and expect you to be at a certain strength level and see certain things out of you. And I guess part of the egotistical side is Guy is still Guy, the bodybuilder, and, Guy still wants to train and be the intense, crazy motherfucker that people know. But at what point is that going to put Guy in a fucking wheelchair?
Well, that's the point, right? I think you just have to now accept you're not that guy anymore, literally.
Yeah. And that was what the hard part was on Wednesday driving home was I was like, I got to accept this and I got to figure out how to accept it and how to do it because, I train with 2 guys that are, Joe's 35, Chris is 21. He's a baby, but Joe still competes. Chris hasn't even competed yet and he wants to. So you have me who I'm the guy who's kind of, they're looking up to put them through the fucking workouts and through the ringer. So it's almost like I have to lead by example. So it's
not necessarily because you built a name for yourself.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Everyone knows who you are, but you're past that now, right? So it's you can train these kids the way but when you train, you kind of got to back it up a little bit. That's all.
Yeah. Well, what happens is that what'll happen is I'll grab the hundreds, right? I'll get 12. They'll grab the hundreds, they'll get 12. Then it'll be I'll grab the 110s, and then it'll be we'll go, all right, let's go to 130s. And I'm like, do I go to just 120s or do I go to 130s? Because now I'm
stay at the hundreds and do some
so that's what I have to start. So I think one thing that I'm going to start doing, okay, is for me, is when I get to my top sets, and it's usually 2 top sets.
Yeah.
And or sometimes it's 3, depending on the exercise, but it's normally just 2 top sets, and sometimes 1. I think what I'm going to do is once I get to the weight that I'm doing, I'm not pyramiding anymore. Meaning if I get to a weight and my first top set is, let's say I'm doing 2 and I get 100 for 12, I'm no longer going to go up. I'm either going to get to that weight I can handle and stay there, and I'm not pyramiding up anymore, because that I have to start small. I can't incorporate all these things that come out of my training right away, because then I'm gonna lose my mind.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
of course.
So it's just, it sucks, man. And it's there's gonna come a point. I hope there's never comes a point where you have to get to that point. But man, let me tell you, when I tore my quad again, I'm like, am I really this fucking old?
I mean, here's the thing: you're not old, right? But I think the way you trained when you were younger, it developed a lot of wear and tear for you over time.
Yeah. Yep.
And now that you are older, it's age is just catching up.
Yeah. And you know what? That's okay, because at the end, people ask me, they're like, would you have trained differently? And I'm like, no. Because honestly, if I would have trained differently, who fucking knows if I would be where I am right now, sitting here having a podcast, because I would have never been successful in bodybuilding if it weren't doing what I'm doing. And this is what, and I don't give a fuck. I will go downstairs in my basement right now and pull out every journal that I have. It has every single cycle that I've ever fucking done inside it. And I'm somebody that can stand here and say, and people can say, well, you fucking took steroids. I don't give a fuck. One thing that I do know is being in the sport. And yeah, I can say there was a period of time where I was at the top of my sport in my category. Right now, I know what some of those guys, or a lot of those guys, were taking, and I know what I took. And I am very happy with the choices that I made to only take what I took and be where I am, because although my body's banged up, health-wise, I'm internally, knock on wood, I'm very, very fucking healthy. And I'm very healthy because I did things a certain way and I turned down certain things. And there was dosages that I would not go past, just because I was like, that's not happening.
Yeah.
I don't know how freely you want to speak of gear, but I was like, I will never. Now, I never found a need ever to go past 750 mgs of test. Did I do it? Yes. There was a few weeks where I went to 1,000 to see if there would make a difference, and it never did. But for the most part of my career, my test level was between 500 and 600, and it never really had to go above that.
You get to a point in your career where you don't need that anymore. You've built enough to where 600, 7, whatever, that's 5. That's enough to still make small jumps versus doing this large amount that you just don't need anymore. And then you ruin your physique.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Do you feel, since you and Matt have done this long enough, I mean, I know I did, I found the things that I was like, these are the things that I like to take in the off season. Like my off season was always like, it was usually sust, anadrol, and then maybe it was like EQ, or it was NPP. And then my pre-contest was always very similar. Like it was always like test, EQ, and then the EQ would get dropped. Then it was Masteron. And sometimes Tren would get added in and Primo. And like, then you add in like Worlds Tour, but what?
Sometimes Tren?
Yeah, I didn't always add in Tren pre-contest.
Really?
Yeah. Sometimes Tren.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, I think, I think my favorite is for the off season. I don't do orals in the off season. I don't like orals in the off season.
Now, because just if you're going to say that, I just want you to say, well, I want to know if your reason is the same as my reason.
Because we'll do orals in prep. So I personally don't want to do any orals in the off season going into a prep.
To give your
my version of an off season, obviously we're gonna touch shit, but it's as much it's almost to stay healthy in a healthy range, because we all know when you get in a prep, shit goes hard a little bit. It
Yes.
is what. So for me, I like to do test EQ with a little MPP, but the dosages always stay very moderate. I don't like to push too high, um, and then depending on the time frame, it might just go right into the prep.
Yeah.
Or we'll take a good little break in between, and then start prep.
So you don't take orals for a health reason, not because most people you'll hear say they don't like. Yes.
I don't have that problem.
Yeah.
See, I just feel like when you're in prep, just you got your Winstrol, you got your
Halo, Anavar, Proviron. Yeah.
It's what would be the point of taking more orals in the off season
and not giving your body a break,
at the little bit of break before you got to take all these other. And I've always just found I did fine without it. So
yeah. Now, did you ever utilize because we're talking about orals? I'm just asking because I know some people have. I never did, but it always intrigued me to actually have. Did I? I'm not sure, but I've heard of people when they start carbing up pre-contest, add in Anadrol, and I've heard it works wonders. I've never done it, but I've heard it works crazy.
I've heard nothing but good things.
Me
but
too.
I've never.
Yeah, I'd be interested to see how that works. I've never done it. Yeah, so it's funny though. Like I think you're right. It's almost like when you in the off season when you're a pro, when you get to the weight that you want to get to, it's almost like you find your TRT dosage to keep you where you're at, and almost just like recomp the body that you have, and then right into the pre-contest.
Correct me if I'm wrong. I feel like the more preps you do, even the older you get, you find yourself being able to get away with doing less,
100%,
still getting the shape as if you were doing double when you were younger.
Because you have that muscle maturity and you get that density to your muscle where you don't need because now you don't need the amount of anabolics to build, because now you're just trying to maintain, right? It's the difference between getting to the top of the sport and maintaining it, right? The difference of getting there and having stamina. So, I think absolutely that's absolutely exactly what it's like. And, part of the thing too, is that I realize is, when you're not taking the amount of drugs either, is that, although I'm taking, I'm being sponsored by Blackstone, I have their Formula 19 and the protein and the glutamine, the creatine, and while I'm recovering like that, people don't realize how much the super subs help you recover. And crazy. I'm not, and I'm trying to train like a fucking intense motherfucker that's still at the top of bodybuilding, and I'm recovering horribly because I'm eating 3 times a day.
Well, that's also a big problem too. You're not eating.
And my buddy Joe says it all the time. He goes, "What do you expect?" He has no sympathy for me. He's like, "What do you expect?"
Yeah, does the supplements play a role?
Yeah.
Yes, but if you're not eating enough, you're fucking.
I know, and this is a lesson for everybody. Is that, listen, if you want to do a body, if you want to bodybuild, whether it's you're retired and you still want to have that look or your physique or whatever the case may be, like, you have to do bodybuilding. Isn't just a one part thing. There's multiple parts and multiple branches to bodybuilding. And if you're not doing them at 100%, then you have to be very careful, because and I was being very, very careful. You could get, if you're not drinking enough fluid, you could overdo it and get dehydrated and tear something. If you're not eating enough fluid, you would fuck your blood sugar up. And if you're eating too much, you could fuck your blood sugar up. If you're, it's just, there's so many different things that come with bodybuilding. And, I was playing with fire, and I ended, I wasn't doing things right, and I tore my fucking quad. And, now here we are. And, I tear my quad 2 days later, my gym gets a hip press. So it's like, now I got to stare at this.
Oh, you guys got the hip press, bro?
Not so which one do you like the best? Because I know everybody says Rogers is the one. Right. Yeah. So we got the hammer one, which is great, because the one with hammer strength that people don't realize, which I have to make sure, now that, Joe, I'm thinking about this, we have to make sure, we have to tell Rob, is that hammer one you can use for a row. You know how we do the row at
1-2
Apollo
row.
Gym?
I
Huh?
know what you're talking about. You can face the other way and grab the
Yes,
rope.
that the Charles Glass showed me that little
That's
movement.
a very good piece too. I
Yeah,
like
so
that
that's like that's a 2-in-1er. That just popped in my mind now. So yeah, at least I can use that for back day. So yeah, the Rogers hip press is good because it's closer to the ground.
Yes.
And but that hammer, there was one, and I'll never remember the name of it, but there was a hip press, or it was called a horizontal press at Gold's Gym in Venice, and it was in the back leg room. It was white, and somebody snapped a piece on it that couldn't be welded back together. That hip press, Charles Glass would fucking murder people in. That was my first leg days I ever did with him, and he put me in that
The
piece.
hip press is my favorite out of all leg presses.
I said that today when or the other day when the owner was taking out. I go, the hip press alone is my all-time favorite piece of leg piece equipment. Like
I won't use any other.
no, absolutely not. There's no reason to. Well, before we head out, how's the prep going overall?
Really good, man. I'm actually really happy. I'm in much better shape now than I was 6 weeks out from Olympia. My weight is, I was after the 2 mega high carb days with 2 cheat meals.
Where'd you go?
Only up a pound.
Where'd you go? Tell me where you went, what you ate. I want to know.
Okay, so we went to the first night we went to Shake Shack.
Okay.
And then we got frozen yogurt. And then the next night, I let her pick, and we went to this restaurant called BJ's.
Okay.
Where it's like Cheesecake Factory, kind of.
I think I've been there.
It's good. It was actually really good. And I got the same thing again. Got a nice burger and fries, and then we got frozen yogurt again.
So how long will those meals stay in if your weight keeps sustaining or
we'll see. I mean, right now, if I had to guess what's going through Matt's mind is we're gonna play it by day.
Yeah.
Like, I send him pics Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays right now. I did send him some this morning just because he wanted to see how I looked. So I'll send him more again tomorrow, send weight, and we kind of just play it off that at this point.
Is this prep feel a little easier for you because obviously you didn't know you were going to do this, right? But does it seem like it's easier because you were literally in striking distance starting this prep? So
yeah.
It's not like you're not killing yourself with the cardio and all that other shit to get.
Cardio is very, very minimum. I think that's because of how much food I'm eating and how I feel mentally.
Yeah,
I'm able to train a lot harder, which kind of minimizes the amount of cardio you got to do. You're able to eat more food. Again, honestly, having Maria back just makes things easier too. She's a very good support system, and having her here just makes things a lot more funner too.
Yeah,
we train together at this point, so it's fun.
Awesome. What I'm not going to say what days do you go where because I don't need fans fucking following you all over. But obviously being in Vegas, it's you're in an area where the fucking radius of gyms are fucking a ton. Is there certain places you like to train certain body parts over others? Like, would you like to go to like, I don't know, Lift Factory for this or Dragons for that? Or is there, or posing, like tell people that are out in Vegas, like, I think some people, there's so many gyms that some people get so confused, almost like the Cheesecake Factory, right? You take somebody out to the Cheesecake Factory, they get so overwhelmed by what's on the menu, they don't know where to go, what to eat. So if you could tell people, hey, if you're going to train arms, this gym's great. If you're going to train back, this is the place to go, or this place and this place. Like, where are your like places and your like spots you want to go for like the best target for that body part? Like, what gyms are your go-tos for those?
So honestly, I like to train chest at Dragons because they have he specifically has that incline flex flex press.
Fucking awesome.
No gym has that, and that's my all-time favorite piece. So I like to go there just specifically to use that. I think back is good at Dragons. Elevation's good. And honestly, any body part is good if you go to an LVAC gym.
Okay.
Maria Hayes.
I can say that. I've been to LVAC back in the day.
And Maria Hayes fucking gym. But you could go to any LVAC and you would have a phenomenal workout with any body part.
Yeah.
Any body part. But for me, it's the vibe too, right? So LVAC is a good gym with great equipment. The vibe is more like old people. I'm not, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Dragons, obviously, that's great vibes. Great atmosphere. Everyone in there trains hard, music bumping. Elevation, same thing. Great vibes, great equipment. They got good music on. And then if you're just in the mood to just go to
Elevation, I'm cutting you off because that was the one that I went to the one morning, right? I was talking to you. Dude, what's the owner's name? Do you remember his name? I'm drawing a blank, but it's okay. But Elevation, yeah, I train there. Obviously, I'm a huge Dragon Layers fan. Flex is one of my best friends. I think his gym is phenomenal. But Elevation, if you guys have never checked it out, the great gym in Vegas. The owner, I forget his name, but he was awesome. He came over to the Gaspin Better Bodies house with Michael Johansson.
Yeah.
We all hung out. He's a great fucking dude. Very hospitable. Allowed us and me and Branch trained arms there, filmed it. It was great. So I just wanted to shout that out. So go ahead. So you were saying.
Well, I think another great gym, if you're in the mood to kind of want to be alone and go into like a dark dungeony place, is the Lift Factory.
So Lift Factory,
you can get away with training any body part there too, because they got great chest shit. They got good back stuff, shoulder stuff. Definitely got great leg stuff, and their dumbbells go to 200, and it's all metal in there. So if you're that type of guy, that gym is definitely great, and I like to go there. The only problem with that gym is, unfortunately, that one's like the furthest one from me.
Oh, really?
That one's like almost a 40-minute drive.
I think the guys I think their names are Eddie Ernest and Nick, I think, are the owners of Lift Factory. Nick. They right?
Yes. Yeah.
When they first opened, they reached out and they were like, man, we'd love for you to come there. And I went there and I trained. And when I'm in Vegas, unfortunately this time I couldn't because I was so fucking busy. Sometimes you have appearances you can't, but I always try to make it a point to go out to their gym because they're fucking great guys that just love the gym culture and love bodybuilding. And they did a lot for bodybuilding in this sport. And they got a lot of murals up on the wall, a lot of good bodybuilding history. Awesome. So if you guys are there, go check out those gyms. It's great, man. And speaking of which, since the last time we were on here before, I obviously I keep saying we're gonna head out and we're not, but who gives a fuck? This is our podcast. We do this our fucking way, bitch. What's your dosage for these? I just ate, I think 4. So I just took 80.
4?
80 mgs. That's what I like. 80 to 120.
I drink one whole of the punch.
That's 60.
That's my sweet spot.
60. Yeah.
That's enough to where like I feel good, energy's great, mood's good, training's perfect, no pain. I feel that's like my sweet.
I was actually thankful that I had these in my bag or even on me when I tore my quad because I was hurt in the first night. Like my the pain actually today started to annoy me a little bit. It starts to go down and it's starting to get like in the back of my kneecap and my calves starting to fucking bother me because the swelling's starting to go down. So this is really helping kick the fucking pain. So yeah, man, I'm like if I take it at night, it does that. It kicks my anxiety like right the fuck out of me.
You do more before bed or like the same amount? I'll
usually do if my anxiety's bad, I'll do the same amount. Yeah. And it does. It gives me that like euphoric like head feeling, like that head high a little bit.
Yeah.
But it's more like that head high / relaxation feeling. And yeah, it makes me sleep like $1,000,000. Who takes it before bed is Branch.
Really?
Branch takes it before bed, yeah, because of his hand. His hand, he broke his hand and he's got a horrible shoulder. I gave some to him in Texas, and he said it was the first time in 5 months he could open and close his hand. And he said he woke up once in the middle of the night to take a piss. He said normally wakes up 5 times in the middle of the night. He said, and he woke up once to take a pee. He said his shoulder wasn't bothering him at all.
Awesome.
Yeah, my chiropractor, I gave him some. He said it worked wonders for him and his shoulders as well. He's got bad shoulders. So, and that's what I'm glad with, the people that are taking it, is that they're not utilizing it for the, obviously you Maria tried it and she, to feel it and understand what it is, but the people that take it utilize it for either they see the benefit from it, whether it's the euphoric, it's the focus, it's the sleep, it's the benefit of the pain relief. Like that's what it's there for me.
Well, I love it for training.
Yeah, you were telling me that. You said you take it before cardio and training.
I love it, and I think I haven't done it before bed so often, just because I don't really have trouble sleeping.
Then I'm going to say something. Then you don't need it. See, and that's what and that's. But I'm glad you said that, because there's no if you don't have trouble sleeping, then you're not somebody that should take it before bed. There's no need. There's no need to overdo it, and that's where things become a problem. That's why when people Google this ingredient, they'll hear bad things, because people will take too much unnecessarily needed, and then they get sick, or then it's like, oh, they feel like that they need to take it all the time. So like it's insane. So there's benefits to this stuff, and the reason why myself and Mark Matthews came out with the company is because this was sold at smoke shops. You sell it at a smoke shop. People run to smoke shops because they want to feel a certain way, that nicotine high or whatever. But if you use it for the benefits of it, which is why I talk so much about it, and the reason why I bring it up every podcast, because the education part to me is very big, and I don't want people thinking it's something it's not, based on false information that they see. And that's why when you told me how much you liked it, it made me very happy, because this is something that took almost 2 years to develop, and it wasn't just a fly by night thing. That was a thought in my mind, and we signed up to do. So this took a lot of time, a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, and energy, and it's fucking awesome. And the fact that you like it and utilize it, and told me the things that you said you utilize it for and like it for, makes me very happy. So uprisingxtracts.com, promo code. I won't give them mine. What's your promo code?
Go Mutant.
All right, so that was our longest one, an hour and a half.
What just happened?
Generated code consisting of letters or numbers that can
It was telling me what an e-commerce coupon code is. This fucking thing talks to me all the time. I don't understand what I do. Dude, somebody tapped into my shit. Oh God. All right. So after the ghost caught me, that is it for episode number 4. Myself and my co-host Nick Walker, our podcast, Mutant in the Mouth. We appreciate each and every one of you for subscribing to our channel. We look forward to a lot more with you guys. We have some guests that are lined up that me and Nick were talking about the other day that have been actually contacting us that actually want to come on the podcast. So that's going to be cool. We'll have some rotating guests coming on here. So be sure to subscribe to our channel. Tell us what you think in the comments section. Tell us what you guys want to hear us cover topic wise. And until next time, Mutant Mouth out.
One love.
One love.